Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We are live on the Facebook live stream, on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe. Tell other people about us, and if the mode in which you listen to us has a review system, be sure you do that. Travis Terrell is here. He's flexing into the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Gardner is here. He's the producer. If you just missed the last segment, if you're tuned in live, we've had Ben Frederickson from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch on. Absolute pleasure. Love having him come in. And really enjoyed speaking with him. First, before we get into the next hour, we should have Dr. Ed in. I know he had a meeting that he was attending to, so if we get a little long on the tooth on the day, we'll just jump into some dogs on film without him, and we'll get him back in next week or later this week. I need to tell you about Gateway Powder Coating, everybody. GatewayPowderCoat.com is where you find all of their capabilities, or you can just visit them in person at their new shop, 1500 Progress West Lane, O'Fallon, Missouri, 63366. Don't let your metal be ruined by moisture, heat, or other unsavory circumstances. That's powder coating. I was telling you about it yesterday, everybody. If you're listening, watching, however you're consuming this media, it is about to be Easter. It is about to be graduation season. It is about to be, have my buddies over for some barbecue and drink season. They don't want to sit on your skank-ass, rusty metal furniture. And they don't want to look at your grill, your smoker, anything else if you haven't taken proper care of it. Maybe you need a flashy new color. Travis looked into a plum crazy purple coat for his smoker.
I did.
They can do it. They will do it, and it will be fantastic work. Stainless steel, magnesium, cast iron, whatever you got, the metal, they can mostly do it. Take care of your metal objects in the house with Gateway Powder Coat and GatewayPowderCoating.com. GatewayPowderCoat.com at Gateway Powder Coating. Excuse me. Travis, we're geared up for the big 1860s saloon party this Saturday for Mardi Gras.
It's going to be crunk.
I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, Gardner. You don't have to jump right to the graphic. We wanted to get into a few things before Dr. Ed popped in. I'm a little perplexed on the East Coast. What is it, South Carolina? Is it South Carolina where the lottery winner hasn't turned in their billion-dollar ticket? Gardner, do you know?
That would be correct.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So
I believe a small town in South Carolina.
This is nearly almost. I wouldn't say it's a year. It's about 7 months in, 8 months since.
They're within 2 months of the deadline to claim it. So you've got the whole nation. You got millennials and trillions in debt, and that's depressing. But then there's maybe a positive spin with this billion-dollar ticket out there. What are you doing if you're playing? Like if it's you and you've had the ticket, Travis, and you know you have the ticket.
Right.
How are you going about it? And you can tell me the story that it's legal counsel you're working with. It's a family member that doesn't want you to bring it up. However you're doing it, why are you, if you've won this, taking up to the last minute to claim it?
I would imagine it's because there may be a state law that requires the winner.
Child support to be paid up.
Well, I mean, you got $1 billion. I hope to God you don't have that much child support built up. I would imagine you would be in someone's jail cell if you were.
Happens quick.
I think in this instance, the only thing I can conclude is that if I was this individual, I am figuring out a way to make sure my identity is not known, and that because you don't need more than 2 months with estate lawyers and accountants to figure out the best way to financially handle like this large amount of money.
Form a trust or something.
Yeah, it doesn't
however
take,
you're doing.
It may take a couple of months, but it does not take more than half a year to get all this
experience in this.
Well, I have friends who work in the financial world, and they have explained to me, some of the things that people go through when they win the lottery. So, for example, I have friends who work at Wells Fargo. They have a department dedicated to lottery winners.
Oh,
so
wow.
they literally have people they bring in that walk you through.
Sucker department?
I mean, it's when it's all said
you don't
and
know what
done,
you're doing.
you're going to need financial professionals. So, I mean, you want to find some people you trust, of course.
I remember there was a guy in mid-Missouri that won a huge millions of dollars, and it was somewhere like in between Columbia, Missouri, and like wherever, I don't know, in between Columbia and the Sedalia exit. We'll just say one of those kind of 70 towns, right? And he won, and the first thing he said, and he was like a hillbilly, he goes, "I'm seeking the advice of a financial professional," and you haven't heard from him since. That's probably a good thing.
I think that's ultimately what happened. That's ultimately what is this person's waiting. I don't blame them, but I hope it's not a really creepy situation where this person like got drunk and they're now trying to figure out where they left the lottery ticket. I don't know. I just hope it turns out that it isn't someone who lost this money and that they're just going through the legal ramifications to make sure they're protected. We're talking over $1 billion.
Yeah,
we're talking
changing
what are
money.
we talking? I think when it's all said and done, he's going to at least close to $900 million after taxes. So he's going to walk away with a very large sum of money. So, and you're talking about small town in South Carolina. And I think we've seen the stories of people who know each other from winning.
And if it's lost, by the way, or somebody just doesn't know that they won, it just goes to the state.
It just goes back to the state.
It doesn't go to nope. It just goes.
No,
in.
apparently
they do whatever they want with
officials
it.
came into the convenience store where the ticket was bought, and
Like
immediately
forensically
took the
scraping
security
it.
tapes. Like the convenience store doesn't have access to them; they were taken right away.
So it's very likely that the lottery folks have an idea maybe who bought the ticket. Because that was when everyone in America were buying tickets. I would imagine there were a lot of people that day that came into that gas station that bought a ton of tickets. But you said they have narrowed it down to the time in which the ticket was bought?
Well, they have this security,
the security footage
yeah.
says the time. So they probably have
I would think they would know what time it was bought.
So they have a
too.
strong idea, probably between 5 to 10 people who likely have that ticket.
Or the person could have died. That's one option.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a serial killer and don't want to be caught.
That's a good
Maybe it's
point.
a Tony X situation where the NHL tried to put him on a pedestal, and he just kind of, I'm good. I'm not going to the All-Star.
I don't want this. I
Yeah.
don't want your life.
I don't want your life.
You know what I do want, and it's like a lottery that you've won whenever
boy, listen
you've
to this segue, Dr.
whenever
Ed.
you find
Listen to this.
the care and
boy.
comfort and knowledge of a great veterinarian in South St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Ed Miñeco from Hillside Animal Hospital. We do dogs on film every Wednesday.
The good doctor is in.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's great to see you.
Just like at Hillside, I got that little reminder card in the mail saying it was time for my annual.
It's time for your
wellness.
checkup,
my
yeah.
annual wellness exam. So,
Nice.
So I had to go, and they had to draw my blood for my heartworm test and all that.
Is it when you go to a human doctor?
You're right. And he got me with that one. Dr. Ed's good with that.
He-
Because I'm up here listening to him like, what did they give you, Dr. Ed? Oh, you son, man. Oh, man. Heartworm medicine. Get out of my face.
And when you go into a human, like general practitioner, is there, I mean, I'm sure you've probably had the same doctor for a while, or it's somebody you trust or know or something. Is there any kind of competition? Or he's like, yeah, man, just had to deal with my 47th flu patient in the last 2 days. And you're like, I fixed 3 different types of dog, a reptile, and even did a quick operation on a horse.
Yeah, I always tell him, he only had to learn one species.
Yeah, absolutely. Lazy, sad.
Yeah.
Sad is
Real
what you call that.
Real doctors know how to treat all species.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Ed joins us each and every week. We play dogs on film. Dr. Ed, we had Ben Frederickson from the Post-Dispatch in here earlier. We always enjoy talking a little baseball with you as well. There's a few injuries happening with the Cardinals. I wanted to just get into this really quick. I know we mentioned some free agent talk last week, but now has your stance softened on big money with the Cardinals, Bryce Harper still being out there? Is there anything that could convince you to get behind Bryce Harper and the big money that he commands coming to your St. Louis Cardinals?
Well, sure. If I had a crystal ball and I knew that Dexter Fowler was still going to bat 210, then I'd say, yeah, I'm all behind Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Travis, he believes in Dexter Fowler just a little bit is what I took from that.
Well, he not only is the only one that believes that, the DeWitts, the Mozeliak, Schilt, the powers that be that are important inside the Cardinals organization believe what Dr. Ed believes. They believe that Dexter Fowler is going to go out and have a better season than he did a year ago, and that spending money upwards to $300 million plus over the next 10 years on Bryce Harper isn't financially prudent. I respectfully disagree. I think that the Cardinals should be looking towards the future, and now knowing that a guy like Nolan Arenado and a Manny Machado are not going to be available, considering where the market is. Mike Trout probably isn't likely to test the free agent market. I would imagine the Angels, the same organization that had no problem giving $250 million plus to Albert Pujols, they're not going to all of a sudden get gun shy to try to extend Mike Trout. So my question now going forward for the St. Louis Cardinal team is, what does your future look like? Because you're going to have to spend money with Goldschmidt. You're going to have to spend money somewhere in order for these fans to come out through the turnstiles over the next handful of years. And who are you hanging your hat on as an organization? I mean, the pitching's going to be exciting to see, but we don't know what we're going to get out of Reyes. Jack Flaherty's going to hopefully turn into something nice. Dakota Hudson's going to be something nice. But what is going to be that marquee player? Who's going to be that marquee player where fans will constantly wear the jerseys and you'll see him on the billboards around town? Who's going to be that guy? Because if Goldsmith leaves, who's the marquee player for the St. Louis Cardinals?
So was Mikolas tied up only for this year going forward? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so I understand that a little.
Yeah,
bit,
I understand that
but
move.
I-
I'm not
but I don't-
upset
I
about
still
that.
don't like throwing that much money to a guy after only 1 year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he could turn around and
I'm just disappointed that I was hoping for a crossover with Benfred and Dr. Ed, so that Dr. Ed could give him a piece of his mind.
I actually have never met him, but I think we actually know some people in common. So I would like to meet him sometime.
He
guys
used
would
to
be
own a farm down in Sedalia.
his family did.
And they owned, what was it, about 40 dogs?
They own cats, dogs, horses.
And it was a period when he was growing up, Benfred basically lost a dog every month.
Well, they
for
had
like 12
coyotes.
years.
I mean, they had a lot of different. I mean, they're in Sedalia on a farm. I'll defend him a little bit there because that's how. Growing up, I had lots of cats, but we lived on like 17 acres of land when we first moved to O'Fallon and lived across from a quarry, and our property line and back was train tracks. So we had some cats that were indoor, some that were outdoor, some were a combo. The outdoor ones didn't necessarily make it as long as the indoor ones.
Gotcha.
It happened. I mean, we had our own, pet cemetery on our property because of that. When you're in that kind of habitat, it's hard to, have a prolonged life.
Will the veterinary community also come out against the new remake of Pet Cemetery? What are your thoughts?
Great question. Great question.
I wonder, is there
that's a great
the
question.
Vet Organization of America just going to come up and be like, no way, the studio is irresponsible with this movie?
No, I mean, as long as they don't remake Cujo.
That was a Saint Bernard too.
I know.
Like what you see Saint Bernard walking around at the pet parade. And thank you for backing us for the Oscars.
Yeah,
that
sorry
went
I
very
didn't
well.
make it, yeah.
Oh no, it was a good time. But you see the Saint Bernards walking around. And you're like, how I get it that it's a giant dog, and but like that's the one dog I feel like. And you were more aware of things when it came out. But you know how it's always like it'll be Dobermans and then Rottweilers and then whatever villain is depicted in a movie, the breed takes a hit for a few years. Was there any kind? I don't think Saint Bernards even took a real stigma because they're just big, fluffy, lovable things.
Beethoven came out.
Beethoven, Charles
followed it
Grodin.
up,
Yeah, good point, man. That's some range for a breed, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
They're beautiful dogs. They're very lovable. They're very huge.
From the Mastiff family.
Also, I may need your help. Doctor, I may need your help. We may
That's
need
where
to
they
put
get their
together.
size.
We need me to put together a video. I'm trying to convince my mother to get a dog again after the passing
Gateway
of
Pet
Nova.
Guardians, man. She
And
got a
I'm
bunch.
trying to, but she's just like, she's not there. What do you recommend in those situations? I know she's just at the point where she's like, I don't want to really be bothered, and I think she's still not over the heartbreak. So how do you recommend people, whether or not they get back into getting a dog after losing a dog, or do you tell them take some time off, or I guess it varies from situation to
Yeah,
situation?
exactly. It's just each individual.
Okay.
You never know. I mean, you could maybe convince her just to go out and look, and
Okay.
or you never know when that one dog's going to catch your eye.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll
you
do
go,
that.
hey, you want to go grab lunch? Oh, let's stop by some place.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Take her to an adoption event and just
Okay.
That's a very good question, Travis. Actually,
I
'Cause,
know this is so confusing. He came in dressed nice today, and then he asked a really good question. Like Gardner and I are both like, "What the hell's happening?"
my
Who,
girlfriend,
who are you, and what have you done with Travis?
her family, they had a Papillon, Penelope, for 14 years. Who recently-
Papillon.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And Penelope passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and they were heartbroken. Like, it was different.
Yeah.
Like, for 2 days, I was consoling Jess at least about her dog,
Right.
And like she's not living at home anymore,
Right.
but like she was even afraid to go home.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what it's going to be like when the dog's not there.
Right.
But I think, and one of the ways they've coped is it was 2 weeks later, and they went and got another Papillon. And
Yeah.
So
That's how I kind of think.
Oliver
of it too.
is
Like,
what I call him. They prefer to call him Ollie, but I like a more formal name.
What's the Rotten Tomato score on Papillon?
Oh
You
yeah.
ever seen that movie? The original?
Is Dustin Hoffman?
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about? I don't.
I bet
a good question.
that's a pretty artsy film, right?
Oh, it's really good.
I bet it's in the 90s. Good look at Dr. Ed pushing the game, man.
Yeah, we're actually, we're dealing with something with our dog at home. He's actually developing some senility.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's just not quite all there, and
Yeah.
sleeps just probably 23 hours a day. And,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and just you just kind of like remind him why come on, let's go outside.
Right.
Why did I come out here?
And it doesn't help that the only positive things that you can find on the internet are dog videos. That's the only positive thing on the internet. So that's what I try to keep in my feeds, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, is I follow dog sites, and there's a new awesome video like every 3 hours on my timeline. I'm just like, yeah, I want a new dog right now. And it's a very difficult transition. So thank you for helping me. That's a good idea. I will certainly try to bring her to an event. Before we get into Dogs on Film, did you get a chance to check out the Oscars or any of the award show this past Sunday?
I watched a little bit of it, not the whole thing. But
What did you think of the no host thing? What was your thoughts on the not having a host? I felt like it was very efficient. I thought it kept the show going, but it was still entertaining enough to keep my attention. And there wasn't any, I guess, dry spots throughout the show where you're just like, oh, that just brought the room down. What did you think?
I thought it went well. Whether it was real or imagined, it seemed to me like they were just letting the people just talk as long as they wanted and think about anybody they wanted. And if there was four people who got the Oscar, all four
tried to speak.
They didn't get played off immediately?
Yeah,
Some did, but not all.
Right. You didn't hear that music start.
Right.
So I found that interesting.
What would you do in that situation? I've always wondered that because as an audience member, I'm like, all right, let's keep the show moving. But then at the same time, I'm also, man, these people have been working about 25, 30 years to get to this moment. Hey, man. Can we give them 2 minutes? I don't think I would have done that. I probably would have done a hey, man in there. Like, hey, man, I want to thank my valet driver. I want to thank my third grade teacher. But I don't know. How would you handle that if you were to win an award?
Shorter, better. Yeah, because you can still be meaningful. Like, it's cool if you say your significant other's name or your kid's name or something, and maybe you can do that really quick, and maybe you rehearse and everything. But you can't go wrong politely saying this is amazing, thank you so much, everybody who supported me. Good night. Like that's no one's gonna be like, did you see how short that was?
So you're telling me
because you're going to forget 100 people. There will be with each one of those stars, there will be no fewer than 100 people that are like, I didn't get thanked.
But that's my question. Because my thing is,
your aunt's going to be mad that your grandma got.
Yes.
Like, no, just do one blanket, effective thing, and you're good.
Yeah, you're better than me.
No, you can't forget the spouse, though. I mean,
you can't forget the spouse. Like, there are certain people you have to name the spouse and the kids.
Oh yeah,
you gotta go.
It depends on how good the kids
get thanked. Why do the kids get thanked?
That's a fair question.
Is that just to get their name on TV?
Yeah, because that's going to be cool for them the next day at school.
Yeah.
That's the basic reason why.
Can we talk about
Dr. Ed, like, screw them kids.
Yeah.
Dr. Ed is anti-kid.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. Why?
I come from a very large black family. I have to at least name 25 people. I have to.
I would like to thank Medea.
Yes, I'd like to thank Medea.
Good call.
So drop the mic here. I'm just going to let Dr. Ed do the rest of the show.
So what's your take on this whole Green Book? I don't know if you wanted to call it controversy.
We talked about it a little bit.
Not tune in on Monday.
My bigger beef with the movie was, in my opinion, it just wasn't good. My second beef was that you can't ignore that the protagonist of the movie, their family, had strong misgivings of the way it was portrayed on screen. Now, I get that there are a lot of people who enjoyed the movie. A lot of people had different takes from it. I respect that. But it's kind of hard to ignore for me personally that if we did a Chris Denman film and JPD came out the next day and said, this was a complete misrepresentation of my son. This isn't how we lived his life. This isn't how it went down. I would be remiss if I didn't take that into account. Outside of that, congratulations, Peter Farrelly, the guy who did Dumb and Dumber, now has an Academy Award.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. So that was, overall, though, I thought the entire night was very good. I enjoyed the entire night. I thought everybody got a chance to win. Roma won, Black Panther won, Bohemian Rhapsody got love. So I felt like all the films in some way, shape, or form got some respect and love from the Academy. Spike Lee finally got his Academy Award. I thought everybody ultimately got what they wanted out of that night.
Yeah, he apparently threw a little bit of a fit, though, didn't he?
Yes, he was very. It goes back all the way
Spike
to the
Lee
driving.
getting emotional? No.
It goes all the way back to his Driving Miss Daisy days, and I think he was kind of tongue in cheek with the comment that it's the second time I've lost out to a movie.
He appeared to
where-
be indulging in some champagne as well, which he deserves if he's out on that night. But maybe.
But that's part of the
maybe
Spike
that
Lee
was
brand.
Part of it.
Yeah, Spike Lee brand is the underdog. He loves being the underdog. I don't know how he would react if the Knicks won the NBA Finals, because what would he?
Good thing that'll never
he would have
happen.
nothing to yell about anymore. So I think he loves being a part of being the underdog.
Cubs fans seem to have gotten over it. So
Good God, did they ever?
Goodness
Babies.
gracious. Before we get into dogs on film, I wanted to remind everybody that Tech Electronics helped us build the studio. They're Dr. Ed's neighbors over on Manchester
Oh,
in
nice.
South St. Louis.
That's right.
They're another great family-owned business from right here in St. Louis. The studio was wonderful. They're helping us out with a bunch of different things. Cannot thank them enough. Visit techelectronics.com for their capabilities. Dr. Ed, how are we feeling about our capabilities and our potential for dogs on film today? We haven't gotten the pen and the paper for the second week in a row. We've pissed off Gardner.
Yeah, well, after last week, I didn't do too good. I think I was 0 for 4 last week.
It was a rough one last
Who
week.
won?
So.
Did you win last week?
Bree.
All right.
Bree won
last week. Yeah, kicked
Goodness
our ass.
gracious.
I'm going to type mine today just as it makes me feel better. Gardner, you and Sean were in here recording. What do we got?
here we go. Travis.
It's time for Dogs on Film.
There you go.
Beautiful. What an amazing open.
Love that open.
That is
so
actually is
damn
pretty great.
much.
That is pretty great.
And man, we have we're going to be in debt all the way to December because of that graphic.
We play a little Dogs on Film every time Dr. Ed from Hillside Animal Hospital comes in. It's a game where we put two movies against each other and guess their Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, we have 6 total movies,
Okay.
3 total pairs.
Oh.
1-on-1 we go. You have to guess in those 1-on-1 pairings which one has a better score on Rotten Tomatoes. Arbitrarily, I'll decide if I want to hit right or wrong with whoever it might be. And if it's a right answer,
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
is what you'll hear. If it's a wrong answer that I want to go with, wrong.
Heard a lot of those at the pet parade this past Sunday.
Certainly.
That was kind of scary.
So we'll see what the scores are after 3 pairs. You get a point if you get it right. Needed, we have a tiebreaker. And we have a theme with each pairing. So a theme with each pairing. I wanted to revisit a few that we've already done, actually, to begin. And they are dog-themed. We don't always do dog movies anymore because we've gone through a lot of them. Don't look up Papillon, by the way. You brought it up because I'm probably going to use it next week now.
Nice.
So it's on you guys. Your
Okay.
honor to not look up Papillon on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
I was unaware of that movie, but we will use it next week now. So we're going to start with a couple of dog movies that we've had before to see if you guys can guess which one has a better score on Rotten Tomatoes. Are you ready?
We are ready.
All right, here's your first one.
All right, are we ready? Canine, 1989, action comedy, 1 hour, 42 minutes. Michael Dooley, James Belushi, is a cop who likes to work alone. But while working a case to bust Lyman, Kevin Teague, a notorious international drug lord, his boss, Ed O'Neill, assigns him a partner to assist. That partner is Jerry Lee, a drug-sniffing dog. At first, Dooley can't stand his furry sidekick, especially since the dog seems to take pleasure in destroying Dooley's possessions. But when Dooley discovers that Jerry Lee's drug-sniffing skills are no joke, he warms up to the pooch.
You see that one?
We might have seen bits and pieces on, Channel 11 Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, there's your first one.
I think I for sure saw that. It was probably rented at
I've seen it. Yeah.
Village Video.
I think
in
the way
Farmington,
Sean
Missouri in
described.
1989.
Oh wow, really?
Has
Probably.
Has James Belushi been in a good movie at all?
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
There it is. Dr. Ed.
He's on it.
He's opinionated in this segment. All
All
right.
right.
Canine going against.
Must Love Dogs, 2005, romance comedy, 1 hour, 38 minutes. Sarah, Deanne Lane, is 40 and recently divorced.
Diane Lane.
Diane Lane is 40 and recently divorced. Believing Sarah needs to date more, her sister Carol, Elizabeth Perkins, creates an online dating profile for her. Simultaneously, Jake, John Cusack, reluctantly decides to try internet dating. Sarah and Jake meet, and though both agree they are not interested in a serious relationship, their chemistry is undeniable. But when Bob, Dermot Mulroney
Man, that
suddenly
gets him every
shows
time.
interest in Sarah, her future with Charlie becomes unclear. Diane Lane.
Ooh la la. You ever seen Unfaithful?
Oh yeah. Ooh la la, ooh la la. Well, may we. Grape.
Jesus, help us.
So you have Must Love Dogs against Canine. Travis, what do you got?
Love me some Diane Lane. Got to go with Must Love Dogs.
Must Love Dogs.
Dr. Ed?
Oh yeah, must love dogs.
Must love dogs.
Must love Diane.
I topped it.
Ooh, that's a nice woman.
I typed it down. I've said K9's probably 23%. Must love dogs is 44%. I got to go with must love dogs.
Must Love Dogs for all of you. All of you are
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
Yes.
are correct.
Nice.
Canine 22%.
Ooh, I said 23%.
Must Love Dogs 36%.
Not bad.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Not bad. Actually, quite bad. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good guessing. Good
It
guessing.
was enjoyable. It was an
Yeah.
entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Nice work on bringing dog movies back into the mix.
Well, we'll try and do maybe a couple. It's been almost a year.
Did we ever do the movie Man's Best Friend?
I don't know. I'll look into it. I actually have a running list
Okay, great.
of things that we
Yeah.
have done, so
I
I'll
think
go
maybe
back
we
and
did,
look.
But yeah.
So, yeah. You know you're getting Papillon next week, so don't look, you guys.
All right.
Don't do it.
All right, what's our next set?
The next theme is the moon.
Ooh,
The moon.
I'm good at these movies.
So these movies have moon in their title that I've pitted against one another.
Great.
So
Wow.
here's your first one.
Shall I scroll? Yeah, try it. Do it. I can work these things. Never had a computer for a minute. Ready? Moonstruck, 1987, drama comedy, 1 hour, 42 minutes. No sooner does Italian-American widow Loretta Share accept a marriage proposal from her doltish boyfriend, Danny Aiello. Aiello. And she finds herself falling for his younger brother, Ronnie, Nicolas Cage. She tries to resist, but Ronnie lost his hand in an accident he blames on his brother and has no scruples about aggressively pursuing her while Johnny is out of the country. As Loretta falls deeper in love, she comes to learn that she's not the only one in her family with a secret romance. Snap out of it! My favorite line. My Cher impersonation.
You sing a Cher song?
Thieves, tramps, and thieves, they're from the people of town. They call us thieves, tramps, and
Jesus, help
thieves.
us.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. And every night all the men come around, lay their money down.
Wow, he did the whole song. Oh, Sean.
There's Sean.
So that's what they were doing in here.
Yeah, that's what we were doing in here. So Moonstruck,
Okay.
and that goes against.
Paper Moon, 1973. Crime, black and white. 1 hour, 45 minutes. Slick con artist Moses Prey, Ryan O'Neal, and Addie Loggins, Tatum O'Neal, team up in 1930s Kansas. When Mose is unexpectedly saddled with getting the 9-year-old Addie to relatives in Missouri after the death of her mother, his attempt to dupe her out of her money backfires, and he's forced to take her on as a partner. Scamming their way through farm country, the pair is nearly done in by a burlesque dancer, Madeline Kahn, and an angry bootlegger, John Hillerman.
You got a good Madeline Kahn impersonation? Maybe from Blazing Saddles.
Maybe from Blazing Saddles. I'm tired of playing the game. Hated a crying
He
shame.
is
I'm
good.
so
He is good.
tired. Bum, ba-da-da-dum,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Sean's good.
Yeah, he almost ruined Blazing Saddles for me.
So you have Moonstruck versus Paper Moon.
Did Tatum O'Neal win an Academy Award for
did.
Paper Moon?
I believe so.
Okay.
No, she wasn't the
Who- I
youngest.
thought is she still the youngest of all time?
Or was Shirley Temple?
Maybe it was Cheryl. Was it? Gardner, you're old.
That I don't know.
Okay. All right, I am going to go Paper Moon.
I didn't know either of these, and I went Moonstruck.
Oh gosh, you haven't seen Moonstruck?
If I have,
I have
don't
not seen
remember
Moonstruck
Speaking
either.
as a
I
true-
haven't either.
Oh,
But I want to see it
true.
now. I
Oh
want
my
to see it
God.
now after that description.
It speaks to my heritage.
Okay.
Oh boy!
American family.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm
Moonstruck,
definitely going to check it out now.
Moonstruck all the way.
Moonstruck for Dr. Ed. Moonstruck for Chris. Paper Moon for Travis. Travis, Now, it's not that bad, though.
Okay.
Paper Moon, 92. Moonstruck, 93.
Ouch.
Right
That's
there.
a good one. That's a heavyweight
All right,
fight.
I gotta check
you
out
just had
Moonstruck this weekend. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that then.
seriously.
Okay.
All right,
Very
so it's, what's our scores here? 2-2 for Dr. Ed and Chris, and 1 for Travis as we
right.
head into the final pairing.
Okay.
This one pits one Andy against another. Andy Garcia versus Andy McDowell. Andy Garcia versus Andy McDowell.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so here's your first one.
Hero, 1992, thriller, comedy drama, 1 hour, 58 minutes. Serial swindler Bernie LaPlante, Dustin Hoffman. LaPlante. Dustin Hoffman makes his first selfless gesture of his life when he helps save injured passengers from a roadside plane crash and then vanishes into the night. Hoping to find the hero who pulled her out of the wreck, reporter Gail Gailey, Gina Davis, announces a $1 million prize for stepping forward. The one handsome vagrant, John Boober, Andy Garcia, takes credit. Bernie struggles to expose him amid a media circus and countless adoring fans. Didn't see that one.
Really?
I might have seen parts of it.
I used to watch that all the time.
Really? That's what happens when you just got the basic cable. Nothing,
Yeah.
Sometimes you get better stuff on not cable.
Like what?
I don't know, movies, they got this channel on, 11.2 on my back TV in the back room. This channel. It's called this. I don't.
There's a little inside info for you if you are lacking in cable.
Thank you.
Look for this channel, 11.2 here in St. Louis. So you have Hero
Okay.
going against.
Michael, 1996, fantasy drama, 1 hour, 46 minutes. When jaded journalist Frank, William Hurt, and Huey, Robert Pastorelli, along with angel expert Dorothy, Andy McDowell, travel to a small town in Iowa to investigate a story, they find Michael, John Travolta, a disheveled man claiming to be an angel. But Michael is less than angelic. He drinks, he smokes, basks in the attention of women. As the group travels to Chicago, Michael teaches them about relationships, faith, and miracles, suggesting that he may be exactly whom he says he is. That was a pretty good movie. It was kind of fun. Travolta.
You ever dabbled in Scientology?
No.
What's a good religion for you?
Baha'i is what I'd like to be. They just fix everybody, and it's just, you ever hear of Baha'i? No, you know why? Because they don't bother anybody. They have beautiful temples, one up there in Wilmette, Illinois. It's gorgeous. They're the most peaceful, inclusive religion of all time. Someday I'm going to look into Baha'i. Mm-hmm.
You know who practiced the Baha'i religion? I believe Khalil Green did. Is that his religion?
That could be. I don't remember what it was.
If it's not Khalil Green, it is Rainn Wilson. It's one of the two.
Now I'm going to have to relay that to Sean.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry. So Gardner, our last two, what were they?
It's Hero versus Michael in your Battle of Andes.
I gotta go. Michael. I saw it in theaters. I got the tattoo to prove it. And I'm going with Saint Michael of John Travolta.
I'm going to go with Hero. I mean, I'm struggling with this one a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go with Hero.
I'm gonna go Hero as well.
All right. Those of you that went with Hero.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
Wow.
It is Hero
Dr. Ed.
above Michael. Michael a 38.
Ouch.
Hero is 65.
Wow. Kicked its ass.
Dr.
That means
Ed
Dr.
coming
Ed.
back from an 0 for last week to go undefeated this week.
Waltz is in here whenever
Kicks
he
our
pleases.
Yeah.
Congrats to Dr. Ed.
Well done.
The disappointment on Chris's face, though, because he didn't, upset me at all with any of these.
None of the ratings ticked off Dr. Ed.
There's always next week. Do you guys want to hear what the tiebreaker would have been?
Let's go for it.
Yes.
This would have been for Black History Month,
Okay.
Travis. I had picked one out for that in
All right.
particular. Here you go.
This is it, the tiebreaker. And for the tiebreaker, Lean on Me, 1989. Drama action, 2 hours, 4 minutes. The New Jersey superintendent, Dr. Frank Napier, Robert Guillaume. Sorry. Yeah, Robert Guillaume watches helplessly as East Side High becomes the lowest ranking school in the state. With nowhere else to turn, Dr. Napier enlists Maverick ex-teacher Joe Clark, Morgan Freeman, to take over as principal of the declining school. Unfortunately for Clark, before he can focus on improving the student body's state exam state exam
Sean.
scores, he has to somehow rid
buddy.
the school of its gang and narcotic problems. Okay, I gotta go. Time to go now. Good night, all. Can I get out of here? Yeah.
What's your catchphrase?
What?
What's
Oh,
your-
God, I gotta go to the bathroom.
You have to go to the bathroom?
I do have to go to the bathroom. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. It was Lean on Me would have been the tiebreaker.
I still believe this is perhaps Morgan Freeman's best performance as an actor. I'm going Lean on Me's got to be at least an 85.
85, Travis. Chris.
91%.
91.
I'm sorry, I'm going lower.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 70.
I think Dr. X's probably right.
70 is close. It's a real nice movie.
Oh, really?
It's
69.
a 69.
Yeah? Interesting.
69 for Lean on Me.
Interesting. Okay.
Again, congrats
All
to
right.
Dr. Ed of Hillside Animal Hospital. Wow. You feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have you back in your winning ways.
Nice job, Dr. Ed.
Dr. Ed, we'll have you stick around. We have some fun at the end of the show. We read silly emails that people send in on a topic. And we give away a prize this week, $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Gardner, you want to do some fair or foul?
We could do that if you'd like to.
Okay, Trav, you excited? It's your favorite segment?
It's time for the people's fair or foul.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul? Is it a segment? Is it a movement?
Okay.
Is it hope?
Yeah.
I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, fair or foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now time for fair
We give it back to you, the people.
or foul.
The segment that the dogs at the pet parade called. Roar.
And you can catch us live this week. Get tickets. We have $10 off. If you want to message us, you can send us a direct message, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we have tickets for the 1860s Mardi Gras tent this Saturday. We're hosting it. Silky Soul, the Red Afro Queen, will be playing music. And your ticket, if you do the $10 discount, $75. That includes food, drinks, private heated bathrooms, private area.
Yes.
It is going to be a heck of a party. It's going to be cold on Saturday, so come hang out with us in the 1860 Saloon tent. If you want to go to 1860saloon.com and order tickets, be sure to enter promo code WAL. No discount, but you do get a free party pack with that. Those tickets are $85. Let's party, guys. Come out. It's going to be packed. We've already sold a ton of tickets. Still have some left. But we're excited to party with everybody, with 400,000 of our closest friends in Soulard.
Should be fun.
We asked you about gas station sandwiches. Dr. Ed, it was a sight to see. Let's kick it off. Fair. The gas station sandwich is the equivalent of a St. Louis 4. And we've all been with a St. Louis 4.
Good God.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's from Coach Sampson. How do we feel about that?
Pretty accurate.
Dr. Ed's following along. Fair, but only in one specific instance. The only allowable scenario to eat one is standing in a running shower, wearing never nude blue jean cutoffs, drinking a 40-ounce, and crying while a random British guy does a poor man's David Attenborough. That's JVL Jackal. Dr. Ed, we shot some promo videos before the launch, and one of them had Travis crying in the shower eating a...
It wasn't a pretty
yeah.
sight, Dr. Ed.
A Cinnabon or something?
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
wasn't Cinnabon. I ate a
Cinnabon
wet
in the shower.
in the shower.
Again,
Yeah.
we'll show you the video. Yeah.
Never mind. I can't go there.
Yeah, no. That's to close out fair or foul. We have the black sheep. Foul. This topic just got stuck to the roof of my mouth.
So
I like that.
Why do they call it the foul pole? If the ball hits it, it's a fair.
That's a good point. I've been wondering that question
That's
for
something
years.
to need. You know what? Ben Fred was in here earlier. We should have asked him.
Yeah.
Damn. That'll do it for fair or foul today. Who gets $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill? Travis Trell, who's your vote for?
I am going for the first one.
That would be Coach Sampson.
Yeah.
Dr. Ed, did you have one you liked?
Yeah. Yes.
First one, Coach Sampson. Gardner?
I'll hop on board. I'll go with Coach
Sampson with the sweep.
Nice.
Congratulations to Coach Sampson. $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill, family owned right here in St. Louis. Love working with them. Look forward to some big projects down the corner. Dr. Ed, thank you so much. We love your work. We love Hillside Animal Hospital. Can't thank you enough for coming in every week.
Thank you, guys. Always fun.
Huge thanks to St. Louis Counseling Services, Mental Health Matters. Looking forward to Impolite Company being in here. Tiny Sushi Bistro by Jack, Red Saw. Check out midcoast.media for more info on what we do. Comedy at Southtown Pub this Thursday, 8 p.m. Our friends Quentin Wilbert, Sarah Pearl, Yale Hollander, and Keith Hughes lining out the night. 8 o'clock, free show. Come down, have some fun with us. New website just around the corner for us, but we have been updating the old one, so you can check it out, weareliveradio.com. And big thanks to the Kranzberg Arts Foundation and the .Zac building, of which we're a commercial tenant, but we're part of the programming too, everybody. For Chris Gardner, Dr. Ed, Ben Fred, and Travis Terrell, it's Chris Denman. We're back live on the live stream tomorrow, 8 a.m. If not, download us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, everybody.